I want you to understand that the level of temptations in your life is personalized. That means your temptations reveal the level that you're on. And so what does that mean? Well, let me give you a very straightforward example. Let's talk about lust. On the lowest level, you'll get tempted by screens and pixels. And most people, about 80% or so, have already fallen for that level. A level above that is like you get tempted by this 6 out of 10 who begs to be your girlfriend, but where you know it would absolutely ruin you. This is where most people then fall. So it's 90% fall there, then another 90% fall there. Then you get to the level where you do have a very virtuous and attractive girlfriend, but there's going to be another very attractive girl who will want you to cheat on your girlfriend and thus ruin the relationship. And the girls just keep getting more and more and more attractive. And this is the truth about temptation. Temptation comes in layers. And the more you've demonstrated that you don't fall for the lower temptations, the harder you'll get tempted. Conversely, if you always fall for the low temptations, you will never be presented with the high temptations, because it's basically a mathematical necessity that you will have fallen for the ones before that. In other words, if you're unattractive because you get subdued by pixels, then you will never be provided with the opportunity to cheat with a 10 out of 10. You understand? Right? And so it is structured in the nature of reality itself that temptations are layered. And that if you always keep falling for the low temptations, you will not be presented with the high temptations. And at the same time, if you are at a high level, then they will just keep getting more and more attractive. And so, what does that mean? What should we do with this knowledge? Well, the answer is this. To get to the next level, we must get so good at overcoming the temptations on our current level that they no longer even cross our minds. If you get so good, so fast, and so precise at seeing through the temptations, they will no longer bother us. And when they do, we will then be able to see the temptations on the higher level, on the level above that. And then the only thing left to do is to pray that we get stronger faster, that the temptations get attractive. And this is the way to ascend. You get good at overcoming the temptations on your own level. You get to the next level. You get good at overcoming the temptations there, and so on, and so on, and so on. And luckily for you, there is no upper limit to how high you can climb. And this is also very unfortunate, because then many people start saying, well, why then start climbing if you can always fall, and the fall really hurts? But I would say that this ascent is one of the most important things in life, because let's look at the opposite. The opposite is always falling for the lowest temptations. And this cannot be the way, because if you always fall for the lowest temptations, if you always fall for envy, pride, lust, gluttony, idleness, if you always keep falling for those temptations at the lowest level possible, you will not live an interesting, inspiring, purposeful, or even pleasurable life. You will just be stuck, completely enslaved by your vices. So you should still climb, because this is basically the only thing that matters. The alternative is staying stuck at level 0, and this is not a good place to be. And so it is hard to climb. It is basically the most difficult thing there is. And so I wish you good luck. I wish you a lot of energy and a lot of willpower and a lot of faith to do so. And so if this video helped you, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.